Hey folks, it's Ben. Finally got some time to work on the Onan. One of the issues I've been having is I don't have a battery for it to start because I got it for 40 bucks instead of 200. Didn't include the battery. So I've been working on reconditioning my current batteries, which if you watch my video prior to this one, and I'll see if I can link it right here, kind of explains what I've been doing. Now, I don't know anything about this besides that it is a generator. I don't even know if it turns over, but I do know that if I'm going to do anything to it, I need to make sure the oil is half decent. Now, it is starting to be wintertime. It's starting to get cold. The manual recommends a 5W30. So what I'm going to do now, before we actually do anything, is we're going to check the oil level, and then we're going to drain out the old oil, and we're going to put in fresh 5W30 oil, which is recommended. So I'll tripod the camera, and we'll get to that. Alrighty, so first step is I've never actually opened the oil on this thing, so let's find out how that goes. You'll pardon my elbows if I reach into the video and things like that. We're at a slight incline towards the drain, so that's handy. I guess I should have wiped this off before taking it off. And okay, so that says no. Okay, it says yes. There's oil in there, so that's handy. Seems kind of watery, but that is also not an indicator of anything cool. So next what we're going to do is, or what I'm going to do, and you can watch, is the original generator was designed to have the oil drain straight down, but this little cool trailer that they built for it has no hole here. So I'm going to take the wrench that I already got out here, and I am going to turn the drain hopefully about 45 degrees. If I can get on it here, and I've kind of moved the gas line, usually lives in the way, and I'll put it back in the way. And I'd like to turn this thing about 45 degrees just so I'm not going to be draining it all over. Wow. All over my trailer. I'll put a little funnel under it if I can get it to turn a little more. Okay, so that's enough for now. Whoa, I did leak gas there. Okay, I just moved the gas line and it was leaking some, so that's not cool. But let's see how well this thing turns now. What I'm going to do is, like I said, a piece of cardboard here to make a funnel so it can drip oil everywhere else. I got that, my little catch drain there. See how awesome or awful this little valve is or works. That's sludgy. Cool. So that awesomeness drains out. I don't think that's held in by. We'll just let all that awesome go, and I'm going to wipe this down a little bit while we're cleaning it, and then we'll start getting ready to put oil back in it. While the oil is draining, let's send our attention to this fuel tank. It's a custom fuel tank. That's great, but the fuel line to it is cracked. And I don't know what's in it for contaminants and whatever, and we need to cut it anyway because the ends are cracked and things like that. Initially, I'm just going to fuel this thing off of a 1 liter bottle until we get all the things worked out, and then we can come back to this tank and revisit it for awesome. Meanwhile, though, let's drain it because I'm not going to use anything that's in it anyway. Wow. I bought this off a guy, and yeah, fuel's not supposed to be orange, is it? No, it's not. So this is what was going through my fuel pump, and so we'll see how that goes. But I'm not sure how much fuel's in it, but we'll just let her go. I'm guessing this is probably Well, on the side of the block, I don't know. Usually, like I deal with Briggs & Stratton and whatever, they're just little impulse carburetors, so they use the pulsing of the intake to do their thing. But this could be a mechanical fuel pump, I don't know. I don't know enough about Onans to know that, but yeah, same colored crap coming out of the fuel line, and it's got a nice big filter on it. For now, I won't reutilize, because A, it'll need a new one, and B, I'll be running clear gas with clear bottles. So alrighty, let's keep moving. I know it doesn't speak much for the fuel just being dark, but yeah, I'm not disappointed getting that out of the the motor. This one, don't go by the color in that, it's actually just a second container. The fuel is gross, what the hell. So 2 wins for me in that regard, but I'm not going to tear apart the carburetor. Not getting that far yet. I just want to see if we can actually get this thing to crank over. So it appears to be mostly done draining oil, just a little dribble left. So I'm going to go ahead, close the pepcock. So for oil, I'm going to put in a 5W30, no actual brand name on it, because it's made up of every brand name I've ever put oil in ever. It's all the little bits and pieces and things like that. So now we have oil up to the threads, so I'm good with that. So in the front, I've got my Napa Legend battery. Now the quick reading I've done on this is that there isn't actually a plus or a minus. That being said, I'm going to bet the right one's a negative because it's grounded to chassis. So my other concern is that my battery won't even fit in this hole, but it looks like it will. Nice. Cool. So that fits. I say the one on the right here, which is actually on the negative side, is grounded to the chassis, so that must be our ground. And we've got our positive. So let me get my little studs here, which are actually on another battery, and we'll get her going. I got these at Walmart for $5 for the pair. It's just a stud that rolls into a side mount battery. Since all my cars are GM, that's what I have. So let's put the negative first, obviously. Alright, so these start, the reason why they need a battery, why they don't have recoil start, is because it uses the generator to start the motor. So with the oil level that's in it now, I know it's got no gas. Let's see if it'll crank over without killing me. Oh! A, my battery turned it over. Awesome. But B, it turns over. So good for us. So next step is to, I think I'm going to pull the spark plug, inspect it, and see if it's got any spark. So we're back up to the top of the motor. You can see it was an orange boot at one time. Ooh. Really? Huh. Okay. I'm going to squish that top before we put it back on again, because that came off awful easy. Plus I want to see the plug. It is not focusing on that, right? So we got that going for us. But number 2, it seems to be dry and clean. So, and I'm going to check the gap here real quick. I forgot what it's supposed to be. I think it's like 30 thousandths. But I'll use my gauge here. Please focus on me. Thanks. It's a little wider than 30, 34. A little wider than 34, 35. It's definitely not 40. Well, it's tight at 40. I'm going to close it up a little bit because I'm crazy like that. Okay, I'm going to take the boot here and squeeze it a lick, just so it bites on that electrode a little better than it did. No offense to it, but I want to snap it in. I want that contact to be made. Pretty sure I can just set it on the deck here. And sorry suckers, you're probably not going to get the chance to see it. See how that goes. It should turn over easy now that it's not compressing. Whew, lots of spark everywhere. So yay for that. Next, of course, is gasoline. All right, let's shoot a video segment on this. Okay, so we've got our fuel pump that's over here off camera, solenoid, probably a shut off, comes over here. Oh, awesome, fuel line, which is clearly factory because it's painted, to the fuel bowl, which is going to contain all the crap that's in this darn thing. So there is a needle, and then there is a little bolt. So not knowing the size off the top of my head, we're going to guesstimate, and we're going to drop the bowl. Hopefully we're not going to wreck that little gasket that's up there too. Sorry about that. I don't know when my camera died, but I got a battery pack on it now, so we're good to go. I use an iPhone 4S as my video camera, so it just dies. I'm a little concerned. There's a lot of junk on here, which is fine. We'll clean that up and make this all shiny again. My concern is with the needle valve. There was some hard junk here. See if I have something to point with. Oh, a knitting needle, that'll work fine. There was some junk black stuff here. In fact, here's one of it that looks like it may have been at one time an O-ring. And so this is where I go to my kit that I get on eBay and see if I have one that's small enough to fit in there, but it was totally dried and crisp. So if they said it was leaking fuel, good chance it was draining the bowl through the needle valve. So, and then the spring to keep everything like it should be. So let me go see if I can find one, but that would be a problem we need to fix. Another part of the system I want to clean, obviously, is where the needle valve goes. So I'm not going to risk it for this video. Taking the bowl out, maybe next time. But we'll see if it doesn't start, then there you go, right? But plus we're dripping cleaner down our generator, which is never good. But I think because it ran, it's probably okay. Great, I got that on my skin too. But clearly the bowl's not coming out without me prying it, and I'll have to investigate the ability to get a parts kit for the carburetor. So we'll take our fuel pump. This was the line that was, oh, I see the issue here. This is crazy small. Oops. No wonder it was kind of split. This is nuts. This is not the right size fuel line. It might have been for the tank, but oof. We're not going to have to clamp this, but we need to get a bigger line. Okay, so there's a fuel line, and I have a canister of gasoline. If you watch any of my other videos, it's labeled already, and we're going to just kind of show you here. It's mostly how we need to get this thing set up for now, because we're just going to hold it. So we got that, so we'll see what's coming in for that. So that's running. I'm going to move my charger over to my battery just to make sure it's going to power, and then we'll let her go. Okay, so everything is in theory ready to rock and roll. I got my hearing protection on because I'm an optimist. I think we can do it. There's no fuel in the bowl, so it's going to have to pressurize that. I'm going to hold on to the fuel tank just in case. And I got the booster on 15 amp. That'll help give the battery a little kick. And let's see where it goes. It's going to crank over for quite a bit, I can imagine. I didn't read anything on cycle time, but holy shit! That was fairly impressive. It actually ran there for a little bit. Not happy, but that could be me too, right? Let me back this needle up a little bit. I think that's all she had in her. Until next time, it runs. We'll go with that.